Today, once again, we're reading some more terrifying but also fun Reddit stories, and I hope you guys are excited. It's gonna be an adventure like it is every single day, and I have mentally prepared myself for what we're gonna read. And with that being said, let's get into it. Enjoy, guys. Am I the a-hole for not tipping after overhearing what the waitress said about me? I, 30 female, was at a restaurant last night with my mother. She was meeting my boyfriend's mum for the first time. We're punctual people, so we got there about 30 minutes before our reservation. We got seated with no issues. It took the waitress 20 minutes to get to our table, even though the restaurant was pretty empty. Right away, I could tell that she didn't want to wait on us. She didn't greet us with a hello. She just asked what we wanted to drink. We told her, and I noticed that she didn't write our order down. It took another 15 minutes for our drinks to get to our table, and they were wrong. It's hard to mess up a ginger ale and a vodka soda, but she did. My mum pointed out that she didn't order a Pepsi, and the waitress rolled her eyes, took my mother's glass, and then disappeared. I excused myself to use the washroom shortly after. I had no idea where I was going, so I went to the entrance to ask one of the hostesses there. While I was walking up to the server area, I overheard my waitress talking to some other hostesses. She was pissed off that she had to wait on a black table because they never tip well. Oh, what? My mother and I were the only black people in the restaurant. She wasn't even whispering when she said it either. Oh, that's so messed up. I wasn't stunned, but her lack of effort started to make sense. I interrupted their conversation and I asked where the bathroom was. I didn't let out that I'd heard what they were talking about. When I got out of the bathroom, my boyfriend and his mum were already seated. My boyfriend and his mother are white. When my waitress saw the rest of our party, she did a 180. Her service was stellar. She took notes, told jokes, and our water glasses were always filled. She didn't make another mistake. Oh god, some people are straight garbage. That's so sad. And infuriating too. Because the night went so well, I decided to treat everybody and pay the check. She gave me the machine and I smiled at her while I keyed in 0% for a tip. She didn't notice until after the receipt had been printed out. By that time, all of us had already started to leave. She tapped me on the shoulder and asked if I'd made a mistake on the bill. I told her I didn't think so, and I looked at the receipt. She asked if there was a problem with her service, and I said her service was fantastic. But since I was a black woman, I don't tip well. Her face went white and she kind of laughed nervously, and then I laughed as well. I walked out after that, but my boyfriend's mum asked what had happened. I told her what I had overheard, and my boyfriend's mum said that I should have tipped her anyway because it shows character. Oh, get out of here. She seemed pretty pissed off at me after that. My boyfriend and my mum are both on my side, but I'm wondering if I should have just thrown in a $2 tip. There's no reason that your boyfriend's mum should be upset at you, OP. There are so many good comments here. Not the a-hole, and I'm pretty pissed at the boyfriend's mum who thought rewarding a racist would be a sign of good character. Screams volumes about herself. Your response to the waitress was superb. The top comment says, not the a-hole. I worked as a server for 6 years, and I'd absolutely not expect a tip for behaving like that to customers. She probably doesn't make much in tips, and this industry isn't for her. It's so inappropriate to ask people why they didn't tip you. This is so embarrassing. This one says, not the gay hole. I definitely wouldn't have tipped her after that. Even the waitress knew that it was bad when she asked why, and you told her the reason. No way should somebody tip after that. The one under that says, only not tipping was a kindness. She should have complained to the manager, left bad reviews, or any number of things. This one says, honestly, she needs to learn that lesson the hard way. Be kind to people, don't stereotype and discriminate, and don't talk badly behind people's back. You're not the a-hole, she's the a-hole. Yeah, and also don't be a racist piece of garbage. Like, come on. That's the lesson for her, don't be a piece of crap. This comment says, not the a-hole, this was perfect. You didn't cause a scene yet made her perfectly aware of the consequences of her racism. This was an incredible teaching moment that hopefully made an impact on a diseased mind. I hope she felt a deep shame that'll make her reflect and question herself. If it were me and I liked the restaurant, I'd ask for a different section and tip extra well the next time. And finally, this comment, not the a-hole, she should be thanking you for not reporting her and getting her ass fired. The next one that we're gonna read is called, am I the a-hole for throwing out my wife out of our house after finding out about her affair? I really didn't want to come to Reddit, but I'm in desperate need of some advice. I don't know what to do. This whole thing is such a big mess. I'm also starting to feel bad of my decision, and the friends that I do have are saying that I'm being too harsh on my wife, and I shouldn't treat a lady like this, but I'm terribly hurt. My wife of 8 years had a 1-year-long affair with a man that knows she's married and has children. I found out about this recently by looking through her phone after I caught her in some lies. Her stories just started to get worse. She was such a good liar in the start of her affair, but now her stories were just sounding goofy. The home is under my name. I paid for our home. My wife is a stay-at-home mum. We have 2 children under 5 years old. I was so angry when I found out about the affair. I packed some of her things in a bag and I told her to go. She tried fighting to stay and make our marriage work for the kids, but she didn't deny that she had feelings for this man that she'd been seeing, so I didn't even want to try since she not only had horizontal mumbo with this guy for a year, she had also developed feelings for this guy. My wife has a joint account card and she also took my personal credit card under my name, and I saw that she used it to get a hotel overnight and she's been staying there this week. The kids are obviously with me. I have family telling me to cancel my cards and to report it to the police for theft, and they told me to leave her high and dry, but my friends are telling me that I'm being too hard on her. Yeah, stop listening to your friends, OP. You're not being too hard on her, and I should just forgive her and make it work. Hell no, OP. Since custody battles are harder for men, I don't know what to do. I don't want to have a harder life if I divorce her. Right now, I just wish that I never met her. She came by twice to the house to try to reconcile. She's apologized. She's leaving me hundreds of voicemails and missed calls and texts. Update, I spoke with a lawyer yesterday. My best option for me is to stay in the marriage. I can't afford to lose anything in the divorce. My life will be 10 times worse if I divorced her. I forgave her even though I know I don't. It's just cheaper to keep her. Oh my god. How disgusting. Oh my god, what a terrible situation, OP. Oh, I'm so sorry. Your wife's a piece of crap, OP, and you were not too bloody harsh on her. That's also such a stupid attitude. Like, oh, what's that, you poor thing? You betrayed me and you've been sleeping with some other guy for a year? Betraying me and throwing away our entire relationship? Oh, I better make sure I'm super nice to you. Obviously, you remain civil and stuff, OP, but you packing some of her stuff and kicking her out, that's not too harsh. There's a comment that says, do you mean that her friends are saying that you're being too hard on her? If your friends are saying that, they suck. Your wife cheated on you for a long time as a stay-at-home mum of 2 young kids. You're absolutely right to feel that it's over and that she needs to go. Cancel the credit card that she has and hire a lawyer. Hopefully you signed a prenup. Sorry that you and your kids are going to have to deal with this for the rest of your life. But yeah, like OP said at the end, my life will be 10 times worse if I divorce her. It's cheaper to keep her. Oh, that's so awful. There has to be something that can be done. So what, as in like she had an affair on you, cheated on you for a year, and she's still going to end up with what, like 50% of everything or something? How messed up is that? Is she open to having like a clean breakup or something, OP? I don't understand how stuff like this works, but like this comment says, the update though, are you sure? Can you get a second opinion? Staying for money reasons only seems so hopeless and doomed. Yeah, how brutal, staying together with the person that betrayed you. Yeah, no thanks. OP doesn't have any other posts or any other updates. I really hope something good comes out of this for you, OP. That's so sad. The next one's called, am I the a-hole for telling my husband that I see him as a liability and not as a partner? Sorry for the long post. It's 2 a.m. and I'm crying and I'm tired and worn out. If I'm rambling, it's because I've held this in for so long, not wanting to burden friends or family with my marital issues. I, 34 female, have been with my husband, 37 male, we'll call him Nathan, for 8 years. Ever since our daughter, 3 female, was born, I've been unable to trust Nathan with anything, no matter how small. For background context, when I was 19, after a semi-truck driver fell asleep at the wheel and turned my car into scrap metal with me inside it, I've got enough metal holding me together that I light up like a Christmas tree for TSA, and I'm physically impaired with good days and bad days. I used a portion of my settlement check to buy a house outright, and I have it retrofit to accommodate my needs as I'll eventually require a wheelchair. I work in software development as it's fun and nobody cares if I work from bed on bad days. My husband hasn't worked in 5 years, which has been fine until our daughter was born. Between the settlement money, a paid off house and my salary, I enjoyed having him here with me. He contributed by handling most of the domestics. We pay for a cleaner every week that does a deep clean every month because that gave us more time together. Ever since our daughter was born, it was like a light switch turned off in his head. For our daughter, he would buy the wrong size diapers, not fully mixed bottles and put diapers on backwards, leave out poop covered wipes and forget to latch cabinets. This past week, he's gone to the store 3 times because he keeps on coming home with the wrong size socks and shoes for her. I eventually just ordered the right ones on Amazon. For me, he has tried to help me with my weekly pill organizer fill up, and several times has spilled the contents of new medications all over the floor. Then, not seeing that he didn't get all of them off the floor, he's repeatedly brought me grapefruit juice to take my medication with, a huge no. He's repeatedly forgotten that I can't have dairy and puts milk in my coffee, or cheese on a burger. He's broken so many things of mine from being careless. He shattered my laptop because it slipped out of his hand when he tried to pack it for a trip, even after I said that I'd pack my own electronics. We've lost so many spoons and forks down the disposal. He tried to replace the head gasket in my car and overtorqued the engine bolt, which shattered inside the block, and 2 different shops said they couldn't repair it. We ended up getting a new vehicle because a replacement engine would have been 11 grand. A week after, he crashed the new car into the garage door because he thought that he'd pressed the brakes, not the accelerator. He wanted to do TikToks and streaming as a hobby. I supported him initially, but I noticed a pattern pretty fast. Anything regarding our daughter or me, he was sloppy and careless. He never whoopsed his own stuff. He would build entire sets to stream or make videos with, leave the garage and leave his brain in there. It came to a head 4 nights ago. He streamed himself building a new set piece, 9 hours straight. Meanwhile, I worked and clocked out early to pick up our daughter from summer camp, cooked and fed both of us and got her ready for bed. He came out to help put her to bed. I let him know that I needed to get some work done and I would be in my office, and I asked him to take the trash out. He says he will. 2 hours after, I left my office and the house felt really warm. He had taken the trash out but left our front door partially open and was back in the garage with his game volume super loud. I panicked since our daughter is able to get out of bed, and thankfully she was sound asleep, but she could have easily toddled right out of the house and he wouldn't have even noticed. Then I noticed the stovetop burner was on, with a small pot on it with nothing inside it. I didn't use the stove for cooking that night. I popped my head into the garage and said, "Hey, I need you for a minute." I informed him of the door situation and he responded, "I thought I locked it." We checked the cameras and no, he did not. I asked about the burner being on and he said that he was planning to make ramen and then forgot. He pulled the steel hot pot off the burner and put it straight into the sink on top of our daughter's favorite plastic plate, which is now ruined. I'll admit I overreacted and screamed, "What are you doing?" He realized what he'd done and pulls the pot off our daughter's plate and straight onto the countertop. I grab it and I run it underwater to cool it down. I tell him I can't tonight. I can't deal with him. I'm taking my meds and I'm going to sleep. He gets a cup from the cupboard and sets it straight onto the burner that had been on. I hit my limit. I started crying. He kept on saying that it was fine, things happen, it's only an accident. He's had a rough day from streaming, he's tired. Why am I crying? It's just a cup, we can replace it. The anger hit me and I said, "It's because I have a liability and not a partner." He said, "What the F does that mean?" I screamed that it's because I can't trust him to do anything, that I'm always having to watch him like a child, always having to bear the cost of his mistakes, that every time I get careless and think I can trust him to be an adult, I'm always the one getting screwed over. I then said, "I can't see you as a partner anymore, you're just another liability in my checkbook." He immediately stormed out of the kitchen and went to bed. I called my mum and I told her what happened. She thinks it's only stress and offered to take our daughter for a week so that we could figure this out without our daughter seeing it. She says that it wasn't a whole thing to call my husband a liability. In the morning I told my husband that my mum would pick up our daughter from summer camp and offered to watch her for a week. He said okay, and that's the only interaction that we've had since. He spends all day in the garage playing games with friends, making TikToks and streaming. For food he's been ordering DoorDash and having the person deliver it in the garage. It's been days and he refuses to be in the same room as me. I've tried messaging him to ask if we can talk or figure out a solution, but he left me on red. If I pop into the garage he ignores me but apologizes to his friends or viewers for the interruption and then unmutes his mic when the noise stops. Before the blow up I have asked if there was something going on. I tried to gently respond every time he screwed up so our daughter didn't associate mistake to anger. I asked him to schedule with the doctor to see if something was going on medically. He always said that I was overreacting and that people make mistakes and didn't see it as an issue even when the same mistakes kept on happening. When I tried to get him to understand that it was concerning just how expensive his mistakes were getting, he'd wave it off by saying, "It's not like we can't afford it." Oh my god. The audacity. I love him dearly. I just miss the person that he was before we had a child. The one I could trust and rely on. Did I screw this up forever? Was I being too harsh on his mistakes? Am I missing something? Am I the a-hole? The top comment says, "I wonder how peaceful it's been for you since he started to live in the garage. Has anything broke in your house? Any accidents happening?" Opie has a comment that says, "We do have a shared account for household expenses and bills, but he is using his own money as far as I can see. When he became a stay-at-home husband, I didn't want him to ever feel like he was financially trapped or abused. Also, the thought of my husband having to ask for money, permission to buy stuff for himself, or not being able to buy gifts discreetly felt icky to me. My paychecks get split between the expenses account, $300 each deposited into separate accounts that the others can't see, and the rest goes into savings. To me, it's his money to save or spend how he wants." The comment under that says, "Is this the kind of relationship you want to model for your daughter? You tolerate somebody who not only treats your possessions like literal crap, but also actively works against you, puts your daughter in danger? This isn't normal behavior. You don't deserve that. You deserve so much better and you could do so much better. He's showing you who he really is, and please consider that." And then later on, OP left this comment, "I read through all the responses and I have removed the allocation to his account. I also removed his name as an authorized user on the bills and expenses account. Before our daughter was born, this did seem the fairest because he was managing the household tasks and the maintenance, but I do understand everybody's frustration at me since the arrangement is no longer fair or equitable. I can't cancel his card because my name isn't on that account at all, but I have put a stop to this Fridays and all future deposits." Yeah, because OP said my husband hasn't worked in 5 years. So yeah, you're providing everything, OP. There are so many good comments here. He is a walking liability. Deep inside, you know that you're carrying him and that he doesn't contribute. As your condition deteriorates, this isn't sustainable. You need to find the courage to take action before it's too late. This one says, "He's leeching off you. You provide everything and he doesn't pull his weight. He doesn't have to work at a job. He gets to play instead because it's a free ride for him. He messes up everything that you need from him. Please open your eyes. He's a complete liability. You're right. I'd worry story, and I'd give more serious thought about your meds and his actions. Is he your beneficiary on the house and other assets? Does he have any sinister motives? He's obviously very on when it's something he's interested in, and very off when it comes to you. Take a closer look at things. This comment says, not the a-hole, let me get this straight. He doesn't work, breaks all of your stuff, and behaves like a child. Congrats, OP, you have 2 children, 1 lovely toddler and a huge man baby. Man babies are notorious for being unreliable partners and fathers because they also need a lot of parenting. Seriously, your husband is an a-hole and I can't help but feel like he's taking advantage of you. This comment says, girl, I'll be blunt. He's waiting you out. You know that you have a time limit on your mobility and your disability. So does he. Once you reach it, he'll get worse as you feel like nobody will love you like that and you'll fall for the sunk cost fallacy, allowing him to continue his mooching ways, but worse. Time for him to get a real job. Speak to a lawyer about trying to secure your assets so he can't take them in the event of a divorce, which I'm in favor of, by the way. You'll feel a weight lifted off your shoulders. Who's paying for the DoorDash? You. You're his sugar mama. Do you want him in control of your medical decisions? Do you trust him with your future medical needs? Do you trust him to care for your daughter when you can't? To be honest, it sounds like he's deliberately trying to make you sick. Once your disability worsens, his behavior will worsen and probably turn abusive. He's already displaying early signs by icing you out and making you feel bad for his poor behavior. You're getting in the way of his games. He'll rectify that. The answer is no, you can't. Lawyer up and separate. Not the a-hole. Yeah, he's definitely taking advantage of you, OP. Like, yeah, what's he bringing to the table besides making your life harder? Good luck with it, OP. The next one that we're going to read is on the Entitled People subreddit. Daily visitors at dinner time finally decide to stop dropping in after seeing this. This happened decades ago in a small rural town. Not my story, but they don't subscribe, so I'm posting. A young couple expecting a baby live a few towns over from parents. Due to circumstances, mum's buying groceries for them. Son tells mum an older couple just keep dropping in every evening, just before dinner, and always stay and eat with them. They don't know what to do to stop them. Mum says, I'm buying food for you and your family. I can't afford to feed them too. This has to stop. Son, yeah, I know, I'm thinking about what I can do. Later, son tells mum, all is good, problem solved, they aren't coming back. He explains that after he ate his dinner, he called his large dog over to lick the plate clean. The dog did a very good job, left nothing at all on his plate, and then he says, well, this one's clean, opens the cabinet and puts it in with the other clean plates. The couple left almost immediately, not even finishing what was left on their plates, and they never came back. Wow, that's hilarious. I love how instead of just asking them not to, which would have been so easy, they came up with this plan. But also, to be fair, they might ask them not to come over and they might not listen. So at least this way, they don't even want to come over anymore. That's so funny and a good place to end today's episode. I've got a funny, wholesome meme to show you guys before I go. We have to end the episode on a good note. What is this? Frog? What kind? A chunk one? Yeah, but what's it called? Harold. Beautiful little Harold. Oh, like Harold from Shrek. I forgot that Harold got turned into a toad. Okay, I'm definitely gonna watch Shrek again soon. I also heard that they were making a Shrek 5 or something. Is that true, guys? If so, that's so exciting. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time today. And if you did, make sure you like the video and also subscribe if you want to. And the comment of the day today, goes to you know who you are. I don't know how to pronounce your username and I'm not even gonna try. It was so impossible to focus on story number 3 because I kept on thinking about Peggy but from King of the Hill. Yeah, that's so funny, isn't it? Like there are so many different names that people give people in the post that we read. And yeah, some of them are definitely distracting. Like this whole post was a King of the Hill episode. That's amazing. I do love the fake names that people give people in the post though. They're so funny. Except for that episode where somebody called them Vince. That one freaked me out. Okay, I'm out of here. Thank you for the support, everybody. Make sure you have a wonderful rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!